You tag your video here, your all-22 breakdown on Justin Fields with this. Is Justin Fields catching fire? He's playing some of the best ball of his career the last 2 weeks, and one of the captions is Justin Fields, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. What did you see from your all-22 breakdown against the Commanders?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Justin played really well. The numbers speak for itself against the national audience. Everyone was watching. I was watching. I was in Columbia, Missouri. I was watching. It was a fun game to watch. They're putting up numbers. That's for sure. And it just go back to what we saw the first few weeks of the season, and then the last 2 weeks of the season, completely different offense. I'm seeing a confident Justin Fields in his throws. I'm seeing, take for instance, the first play of the game. Dude's taking a shot down the field and barely misses it. Okay. Probably could have put it out more to the right sideline, right? And threw it a little bit, left it a little bit inside, missed the throw. But I can't sit here and tell you right now, the first couple weeks of the season, even against against the Chiefs, he wasn't throwing that ball. You know what I'm saying? He just wasn't throwing it. Now he's letting it rip. There was a couple other throws, like a corner route to Darnell Mooney, where Mooney got hemmed up on the inside of the hash. It ended up being open, and he had a good pocket, just missed a throw. He's still missing some throws, but he's making those throws down the field where it just looked like in the first week or two while he was getting settled and they were figuring out who they were in offense, he wasn't even doing that.
Well, it's interesting you brought up the missed plays. Like, I was thinking to myself when I thought it was like an overthrow that I saw from the game, and I thought to myself, well, guess what? I can handle that a lot better now, knowing that he's made all of those delicious downfield passes because, yes, quarterbacks are going to miss, but this was not a week in which we were all sharing pictures of wide open receivers that he missed. And here's the question, Chase. Why was Justin Fields better at identifying the open guy? Was that just a product of DJ Moore doing what he does? Why was he hitting that hot read so often throughout the night?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it starts with what I saw was the Commanders were playing a lot more man coverage than they normally did. And they, Luke Getsy and the Chicago Bears offense, they had different plays on that might not have been meant for man coverage. Like the 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, forgive me. It's one of those where he hit DJ Moore down the left sideline. Okay. That play, they're hoping for quarters coverage because it's 3rd and long, and they get man-to-man coverage. And so in my opinion, all it is you send a guy over the football at 13, 14 yards, and you have 2 deep hook routes. You're hoping for like a single high zone coverage. They get man. And so I don't know if it was called in the huddle or Justin signaled it. I couldn't tell on the all-22, but he throws that double move, the hook and go to DJ Moore, and honestly puts it right on him, which is what you want to do. But those are the type of situations and plays that they continue to take shots down the field. And so for me to see that, when I saw the route concept, I'm like, oh man, this play stinks first man. But honestly, they called it at the perfect time because it was a double move. So it was great first man because DJ Moore turned his guy around.
What the hell were the Commanders doing against DJ Moore?
Well, honestly, a lot of DJ Moore's catches in that game, to actually go back and study it, they were contested catches, right? We talked about that double move, right? That was wide open. But the touchdown throw in the left back end zone to DJ Moore, where it was an absolute dime. I got a YouTube video coming out in a little bit that was on my dimes of the week. Okay, we're doing this dimes of the week thing. Justin Fields made the dimes of the week because that was an amazing throw. You look at the next gen stats, I have it right here, just let me tell you. And that completion was a 23%, like it should have been completed 23% of the time, and he dimed it. Okay, that's next gen stats. That's amazing to me. And just everything that he's able to do down the field, his accuracy, his ability to throw. And honestly, like I don't want to be remiss to talk about like some of these throws in this breakdown. I really want you to watch it because some of the throws, they were there, they were open. But I put a couple different plays on the breakdown in the all-22 that really stood out. And one of them to me was there's 2 separate plays where he's able to throw the football away, okay, out of bounds as he's getting sacked, as he's getting turned. by Chase and the Washington Commanders. He's getting turned. He just throws out. He's right on the edge of field goal range. That's 3 points. That doesn't go down in the stat sheet as sexy, right? That doesn't go in the stat book as sexy, but it's a really good headsy play. The other one, they have a big, deep shot to DJ Moore. It's like what we call a climb route, a deep post, and they send a guy, a receiver, I think Mooney, to sit in front of the safety. Hopefully you're taking the cheese to Mooney, thrown over top to DJ Moore, and the protection breaks down. Cole gets edged, and Justin is able to, no, not there, and just throws it away. Three-yard completion. 2nd and 7 versus 2nd and 10. Way different story as a play caller. And another one before the half, Justin Fields gets out of the pocket. It's down the left sideline. There's like 1:07 left in the half. He slides inbounds.
Right.
To keep the clock running.
Great.
And they're up 20. Dude, all these things, like I'm seeing a headsy quarterback. It doesn't always just say, hey, here's the cool long completion. It's all of those things. And there's even a couple more I could talk about, but it's all those things to me that are making him an outstanding quarterback right now.
We're talking to Chase Daniel here, Parkins Spiegel with Mark Grody in on The Score. So we, in talk radio, we would say like flipping a switch, turning a corner. But the counter argument would be, it's Denver and Washington. What do you think this is? What are we in the midst of?
Well, I mean, even if it's Denver and Washington, it doesn't matter because they're still an NFL football team, right? They're still an NFL football team. You still have to go out there, make the throws. And what I'm seeing is different than just like, hey, it's bad defensive plays. I'm seeing really good throws, okay? And what I'm seeing is growth. I'm not saying it's going to continue because I don't know. No one knows. No one has a glass mirror ball, right? But you continue to look at how his progression is. And that's what I care about. I don't care about the throws. They're great. You got to make them. I care about the progression week in and week out. And he's just continuing to climb that ladder. He's just continuing to get better every single week. And that is all you can ask for. And that at the end of the day brings confidence, right? In this league, success is the only thing that can bring confidence to a young quarterback trying to find his way. And that's what's happening right now with Justin Fields.
And we did not see him, just to further your point, we did not see him do those types of things against bad teams last year, obviously. I mean, that goes without saying. So I do put this in the legitimate progress category. We kind of talked about the stories of all of the touchdown passes for Justin Fields from that night, specifically the ones to DJ Moore, and we kind of talked about the one in the corner of the end zone to Moore, the 3rd and 14 touchdown to make it 7-0. But what did you think of that the put away touchdown play, the 56-yard catch and run for DJ Moore that puts the game away? And you had Kendall Fuller just about, attempting to jump that route. What did you think about that from the offensive perspective and from the defensive perspective as well, in terms of what Washington was trying to do, or specifically Kendall Fuller?
Yeah, well, defensively, they're down 2 scores, then they're in cover 0 defense, right? So it's 4 guys covering 4 guys. It's 7 up front, and you're rushing the quarterback, the ultimate cover 0. I mean, they were not disguising it. They wanted to get the ball back. And usually they'd come back to that play. That's a couple of times where they just threw a 9 stop. All it is, go 9 yards, stop. And DJ Moore had caught 2 or 3 of those and broken out of the tackles down the right sideline. They came back to the exact play where he's reading DJ Moore and they're bringing an over route and a dagger route. It's a pure progression, so he knows he's got to throw it. And honestly, if I'm being nitpicky, like I thought the throw was a little bit late, okay, especially versus cover 0, but the accuracy of the throw saved him. It was high and away.
Scary.
It's my guy or nobody's guy. And that's exactly what happened, DJ Moore. And then as soon as, Kendall's going for the ball, it's over with. See you later. It's touchdown number 3.
I feel like I've seen that a few times, Chase, that even on the good plays, it is still a little late. Is that something that we're just going to have to live with Justin, or is it getting better?
I think it's getting better. It's getting a lot better, at least from what I saw when I started watching him, when I decided to do the show. And it's honestly been cool because I root for guys to continue to get better, continue to develop, because overall it's good for the league, right? And that's what Justin's done. And I would say like the clock in his head has sped up, right? The past 2 weeks. I would also say that it can continue to speed up the next few weeks and just play a little bit faster. But what I'm seeing now, which is, all Bears fans rejoice, he's getting through progressions faster. He might not be able to pull the trigger maybe as fast. He doesn't have the shortest release in the world. That's fine. It's not a big deal. But he's getting through his progressions faster. So he's getting from 1 to 2 a lot quicker than he was, where maybe he was taking those sacks when he was holding the ball for 4+ seconds, when he was just looking at one and then looking to scramble. It's ingrained in his head now. Hey, here's where we're going through progressions. I don't know what changed. I can't answer that. I'm not in meetings, but it has changed.
Some of the because I noticed that too, the point you were making previously as well, and added a little bit to it here, that Justin Fields in that game specifically was so good, so much better at not taking bad game-changing sacks, throwing the ball away. And to me, I was thinking in my head, okay, I got to give a thumbs up to the coaching, because it sounds like they really are hammering that in his head. Is there a point in time where a quarterback just starts to trust or accept the coaching more, as opposed to maybe over-improvising at times and not getting rid of the football?
Well, here's what I think about a quarterback, okay, especially in one of the 32 in the world that play the position. You know what the hell you're doing, okay? And if you don't, you shouldn't be playing. So I'm a fan of less coaching. And honestly, I think that is what's going on right now. It's not getting overcoached. They're saying, hey, Justin, go out, be yourself, man. Let it loose. Don't worry about mistakes. Any room of great quarterbacks I've ever been into, that is what's being said. Like, dude, if you make a mistake, who cares? Move on, make the next play. And he's getting finally, I think it's we'll see. It's still early. It's only 2 games, but it's 2 really good games. I'm seeing him playing a lot more free.
So Chase, like, we know that Justin Fields has elite athleticism at the position compared to the other 32. We know that. We know that his windup, as you put it, is on the longer side. It's not the quickest, most compact release. So that would probably be below average. You talked about ball placement. There's a lot of accurate throwers. Arm strength. A lot of dudes with strong arms. What other traits would you say that Justin Fields either is special or has the potential to be special at compared to the 32 dudes in the league?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've talked about it before, and I'm going to say it again. It's the processing, right? Like, I think
he could be special at that.
He could be so special at that, because ultimately it comes down to really understanding, studying, and owning the offense. Any offensive coordinator on really good teams, it's like, hey, it starts with the quarterback, it ends with the quarterback. It's the most important position in sports. It's not even close. So if you're Justin, right, I can tell, like, at least in my opinion, in analyzing him, he's playing faster because he knows what to do. He might be studying more. He might be watching film more. It just looks like it's coming easier to him. And that's got to be scary for defenses, because, hey, no matter what they're doing, I don't care. It looks to me that they're putting in more pure progression plays. What does that mean, Chase? We're not quarterbacks. It means, hey, sweep the board, left to right reads or right to left reads. I've always, as a quarterback, loved those. It's when you're installing in a quarterback meeting or an offensive meeting, the play caller is installing the plays for the week. Hey, Justin, here's 1. If it's open, throw it to him. Here's 2. If it's open, throw it to him. Here's 3. If not, run. That's what I honestly love as a quarterback, because you're not thinking about these coverages. You don't care. You're picking and sticking, and if it's not there, then you know exactly where to go for your check down. That's what I see him continuing to get better at, and I think he could be really special at that if he continues this pace.
I remember, Chase, back covering when you were backing up Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy, making a big deal out of, when he was putting that offense together, the tight end. And, specifically in that case was Trey Burton. I'm not going to leave it in that place. But the connection that he is starting to develop with Cole Kmet, who had 5 catches for 42 yards. He also had a touchdown catch. How important is that? I mean, we know how important DJ Moore and, the rest of the receivers are, but what about Cole Kmet in this offense and progressing with him?
Well, Cole's a matchup nightmare. I mean, honestly, for linebackers and safeties, like, that's what I've always thought at. Like, if you have some shutdown corners, which you're like DJ Moore, dude, you ain't getting singled up no more. I'm sorry. You put it on tape, you're going to have a cloud safety over top. As soon as he sees that cloud safety over top, that half field safety, find your best friend in the middle of the field. It's backs and tight ends. That's what I've always said. Zone coverage beaters, Cole Kmet, go to him. Running back, go to him. Find your check down faster, because as soon as you see that, okay, well, Mooney on the other side might not be like doubled. So I just think that's all in the progression. And I think that obviously, like, a tight end like Cole has the ability to be really good. I just think they need to continue to get on the same page together. And honestly, it's 5 catches, 42 yards, whatever. It doesn't seem great in the stat book, but it also tells me that he's also just finding them when a check down in the middle of the field. He had a really good like deep sit route, right? It was another one of those deep sits to Cole Kmet at like 16 yards, threw it on time and in rhythm, easy completion right in the middle of his body. First down Bears. I mean, that's what you just got to continue the growth of the quarterback to understand, hey, he can be your best friend.
The Chase Daniel Show with the All-22 breakdown on Justin Fields is out on YouTube. Just another couple of minutes. He's going to join us every Tuesday at 3 o'clock after going over the All-22 throughout the year. You can check out the full breakdown, though, on his YouTube page. What would you expect from what you know about the Vikings defense and what you've seen from the Bears offense? What would you expect when they meet Sunday, Soldier Field? Weather not expected to be great. Looks like rain, 50s, maybe some wind.
Yeah, well, I mean, breaking down Minnesota this year, Brian Flores, they are blitzing the hell out of you. I mean, it is going to be 7 up, 6 up, double A gap mug, double B gap mug, the whole game. Go back and watch the Justin Herbert-led Chargers versus the Vikings. Okay, Herbert and the Chargers had a really, really good plan against all their cover 0. Okay, are they going to do that? Are they going to do more to try and confuse Justin Fields? I don't know. To me, that's going to be the story of the game, no matter what. Like Justin Jefferson out for 4 weeks, huge break for the Bears, right? Like obviously, like one of the best players in the National Football League is out. Okay, never want to see it, but he's out. The story of the game will be how those front 5 offensive linemen and Justin Fields and Luke Getty comes up with a protection plan to make sure that Justin has enough time to find his guys in hot routes or changing plays to beat these cover 0 defenses.
How much from what you've seen on the Bears is that being done by Justin versus, Cody Whitehair helping him out, veteran offensive lineman?
I think Cody's definitely the one making the protection calls, and that's great. Honestly, at the beginning of my career, I wanted to handle all protection calls, and at the end of my career, I was like, hey, okay, I trust the center too, and I can fix it. I think Justin's fixing it. He had a good and they're asking him to do it. He had a good. It was 3rd and 8 in this last game, Fields, and they had a pass on it out of a 2-by-2 formation. He alerted it, which means he changed the play because it was too high. He saw it too high. They ran a draw on 3rd and 7, first down. They're doing that for him. Okay, he's making these checks and plays, but I just think it's going to be a really important week for that. They got to be on their P's and Q's when it comes to communication.
And then one last thing. Have you watched Caleb Williams and Drake May enough to have a strong, informed opinion on the caliber of the quarterback prospects in this draft?
I mean, 0, but I've seen highlights, and I think that Caleb Williams and Drake May could have a ceiling that is very, very high and probably in the past 4 to 5 drafts. So I think this quarterback class coming up, especially these two, are going to be like one of the tops of the past 4 to 5 years, in my opinion.
Okay, so just so you know, and we can get into it more specifically like later in the season after you've had a chance to watch more of them, like the Bears have the Carolina pick, and it's time to make the 5th-year option decision, So like there's like Justin needs to be better, and we're all excited for it, and we're rooting for it and all of that. But in the back of a lot of our minds, but what if Carolina gifts us the opportunity to reset the quarterback clock, have a cheap quarterback, and by the way, have it be Caleb Williams?
It's an interesting conversation, that's for sure. And it's too early to tell, honestly. Like the way Justin's been playing, if he continues to play that well this year and they end up liking what he's doing, who knows what will happen.